It is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be. I am Pacou Mutombo doing better.
Hey!
And that's Confi'Dance on that. This is the show that brings you people you need to know when you need to know. And now, for today's episode, finally,
Is that a dig?
after 6 months,
Don't believe
after
it.
6 months, she's very bad with social media. She's very bad with WhatsApp.
Yeah, that's not
Very,
a lie.
very bad. See, there you go. See,
That's
6
a
months.
lie.
6 months. 6 months.
Wait, 6 months.
After 6 months.
So 6 months.
She is here. So, Sino. Okay, I call her Sino Evil.
I was like, nobody knows me as that.
I call her Sino Evil, man. Sino Evil. But with that being said, Sino, thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you so much for having
you're
me.
very, very busy, especially with the accolades I'm going to talk about pretty
Oh,
soon.
gosh.
What? Yo, man, to the people who don't know you, who is Sino?
Wow, vast question.
Last question.
Simple but complex. I'm Sino. Really, I'm Sino Vuyotunya. I'm African, but more so I'm from Kemeton Al-Kebilan. I'm a creative. I'm a singer, dancer, choreographer. I'm a creative at best. I'm here to use my art and my craft to do the most in my continent.
I see.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm strong, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm strong. I've got views and I've got things to do in the world before I go, so yeah.
You got a strong voice too.
Listen. Oh,
Wait,
files.
you just know.
Files.
Yo, girl. I met you.
Files.
What? You were 13.
Sure, if not 12 turning 13.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. There you go.
And I'm a whole 30 now,
That's where we come from. And
Yeah.
things have changed and people grow and
Sure.
obviously responsibilities get thrown onto you.
Yeah.
But like I always say, we are kids who just, we have to grow up because we have to be responsible. But
Got adult and stuff.
you know what I'm saying? Adulting and all that kind of stuff. But truth be told, I mean, one thing you left out in what you were saying, because you said you're a singer, choreographer and all this stuff. Why don't you put modeling? Because I mean, when you look at your IG,
With my show, I'm like the height of
but
a plant.
it doesn't show on your IG page. You really think that, okay, you know what, I'm going to
No.
hire her for modeling. Have
Really?
I'm serious.
No.
I mean, Paul was just talking about you walking around.
Listen, Paul's gonna get it from me when this is done. Paul tried me today. Paul tried.
Just to let you guys know, yo, she's wearing heels. I don't know if we're wearing heels. I know her as a sneaker girl.
Also,
Truth
that's
be
so
told.
funny because most people know the opposite.
Oh, you see,
so it's like there's
it
only
just
a
shows
select
you where-
few.
It shows
that
you
knows.
where my time with you stopped. When she was a sneaker girl. Nice, your heels and your.
You mean when puberty hit?
Basically, you know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, man, so I just want to find out what got you into dancing.
Sure.
What was the thing that you watched, or what was the thing
So
that you
cliche, but honestly, it called me.
thought? Oh, nice.
When I grew up, I was the big girl, the thick girl. So nothing about how I looked, where I lived. I was a big girl, like I was thickums, like physically.
Oh, I see.
I was from a small town. Nothing about my environment, how I looked, said, "Oh, go be a dancer."
Okay.
So it was like, even with people around me, it was just like, "You wanna what?" No, literally. Even my dad was the first time he was like, "Huh?"
Oh man, really?
And I was like, but to be fair, it made sense. So I just dance. It always spoke to me when I saw it. Anything in the creative performance, dance and music have always been my go-tos.
Yeah.
They're my escape. They're my method of communication.
Oh, nice.
They're just the language I understand the most. Like when words fail me, I'm just like, dance music.
All right.
I know that it was for me because even when everything around me didn't fit what I wanted to do, it was still so certain in my mind that that's what I need to do. So that's where my surety came from, that like.
I'm glad you're saying that because I will never forget the speech you made at the Shield Teens competition.
You have like the deepest files.
Yep, at the Shield Teens competition when you run up to the singer now? Robin, yeah, run up to Robin, and they interviewed you, and I was there, right there. I wasn't in the shot, but I was there when they did it, and you said, you know what? me making it this far clearly shows that dancing is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that because you were
Oh my
crying
God.
and everything.
Stop it!
Yeah, I'm
still a
it's the
G.
truth. It's
I'm
the
still a
truth.
G. Don't play with me.
So, and it looks like it paid off because I mean, like,
Yeah.
ever since you started, now
Yeah.
we know you for, okay, yo, man, you want to choreograph something, you want to get an artist to be choreographed by, yo, don't get Sino. I mean, you worked with Patorank, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
You worked
for
with
a while.
Sierra.
Yeah.
You worked with quite a bit of artists that people will think like, geez, like one day. Well, guess what? That one day
Right.
came to you. So,
Right.
with that being said,
God's grace.
yeah, man. How has that journey been coming from,
Sure.
like you said, did you use the word chunky kid?
Yeah. You can call it whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm not sensitive about it. I was
Yeah,
chunky,
oh,
my ass was
yeah,
fat,
yeah.
I was chunky, I was
Chunky
thickums,
kid,
I was
yeah.
big.
To now where you are now,
I was-
which,
yeah.
which is where obviously most people would like to be. How has that
Yeah.
journey been?
Sure. Inspiring, educational, but on the other hand, it also broke me down, then built me up.
What
It
you mean by
also.
broke? Sorry to cut you, but what you mean broke you down?
I don't come from a family where what I do anybody else has done, so I'm learning as I go. There's nobody to tell me this is gonna happen. It's gonna feel like that. You're gonna need to do this. You're gonna need to do that. My whole career has literally been trial and error. So, in the most beautiful way in hindsight, but in the moment it's tough. It breaks you down in that I didn't grow up. I mean, I grew up in a small town. African families, if you're thickums, you're doing good.
Yeah.
But apparently in entertainment, if you're thickums, no, that's not it. So having to fight anything that tried to break down my insecurities, that tried to, I mean, a lot of the times I would be like, oh, I can dance, I can do anything that these small girls can do, but apparently I'm not allowed to because I'm thick, or I'm not allowed to because I'm big, or it will never be, I mean, I've had competitions around the same time as the one you spoke of,
Yeah.
that would call me afterwards and say, you know, you would have gotten to the finals, but it's just, you're amazing, but you're not the right look.
Is
And I
it
just thought,
really what people, is it really one? Is it really?
that those were the words. And I just thought, and I was a kid then, it's not like I'm an adult now where I can process it in a certain way. So to be told that like, you're worth that position, but we're not gonna give it to you because of how you look, is like,
Wow.
it really like makes you have to,
Rethink.
yeah,
relook.
but go to a different
reconsider,
space.
yeah,
For
okay.
my inspiration was very like light things, like oh, I like Michael Jackson, oh, I like. But you have to hold on to something a little bit more stern, so that you don't break down at every waking moment, and everyone around you looks the right look,
What was it for you?
comes from the right place.
you don't mind
It's
me.
so cheesy.
It doesn't matter.
It's so
you never
cheesy
know. You
because
could be
it's
helping
honestly-
somebody that's going through it right
honestly,
now.
There's a beauty, one, in trial and error,
Yeah.
but two, it really was God and my ancestors. Like, there's something about going through the process, going through the part where I break down, the part where I want to give up, the part where, am I supposed to find another job? The part where there's something about that breaks you, but it's building you at the same time. And that's why I have a problem sometimes when dancers don't let themselves go through
I see.
the stages of what it, you know, when somebody goes, oh, I can't make a living out of this. Yes, you can. You just didn't go through the things that it takes to build a good enough foundation for you to sustain yourself. So
Do you think everybody always look at the end product and not realizing that there's
100%.
there's this much work to get this much
But
out?
also not realizing that the journey most of the time is more important than the destination. And you're gonna frustrate yourself if you're looking for you're never gonna get there.
Yeah.
You get there when you die. So unless you're like fast forwarding and trying to die,
I'm trying to die.
you better enjoy that journey. Exactly, like just like, what's the end? What's the end? The end is death, man. Like,
Whoa,
That's-
that's quite
so
profound.
you've got to learn to literally every single step of the way go, wow, this is light years away from where I was back then. This is awesome. And then take the time to actually enjoy it. And not be bothered about whether somebody looking from the outside in thinks that it's an improvement or not, thinks that it's a big enough achievement or not, thinks that you blew up or not. You've got to know that where I was then and where I am now is light years apart, and I've learned this much, and then enjoy it. Then enjoy the next step. Then enjoy the next step. And I feel like that's the only place sustainability is going to come from, because
see.
looking there can be frustrating.
Truth. I'm really glad you said that, because you were one of the reasons, yeah, and I'm going to come out and say it because nobody knows this. you were one of the reasons why I started popping big. I always used to pop here. Yeah,
Files!
I'm telling you the truth.
Oh my god!
In 2007, I had, just the other day, I actually had Zoe and Eugene here, and they spoke about going to Mainland in their conversations, and it just reminded me of you. In 2007, there was a competition that happened in Mainland, and you were there with your brother and your mom, but your mom didn't tell you that she put your name down to go on stage. Your mom didn't tell you to put your name down to go and actually dance.
Oh, I'm not gonna get emotional now. No, you're not gonna do that to me.
I'm telling you the truth.
Nope, I'm a
So
G.
now, on that day, if I'm not mistaken, you won.
Oh
But
my
it was
gosh.
on that stage, because I know I was with Twice.
I didn't know you knew that.
Yeah, bro. I was with Twice and Boyza and all them guys. And
Oh my gosh.
you danced. And I was like, wow, this Sino is not the Sino I met back in the cut, because you started now, you popped a little bit,
Right.
because you're really into locking, which
Right.
we're gonna get into next, but you popped out here.
Right.
And I could read everything you did. Since that day, I went from
That's
popping
crazy.
here to popping out here.
How could you wait till I'm 30 years old
yo, man,
to
you're
tell
hard to
me
get hold of,
that I
bro.
inspired a whole entire Pacou?
I just said it took me 6 months to get you here.
I'm gonna show my kids that tape. Like, listen, you know your mom inspired.
I mean, you're busy. You're doing things now, so it's
Wow.
understandable. Most of the times, I believe you were out. You were in Nigeria and touring and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, so, you know,
That's
it came out now
hectic.
because they had to come out now. So, without you knowing, you were quite an inspiration to
That's
me.
a lot for me.
Because I was like, okay, the reason why I do this is because I think
Oh
of.
my gosh.
And I will never forget that, because you wore those. There was a time when those long ass shoes, yeah, with the laces. Yeah, you wore those. That's
How could you keep this from me?
Hey,
This
man,
is golden.
Hey, that's what it is. But
Wow.
talking about that, so for me to you, thank you very much, because obviously now I'm
Thank
enjoying
you.
it.
Are you
Talking
kidding?
about the journey, I'm enjoying it now because I'm like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But going back to locking, why locking? Why? I mean, like,
Okay.
because you started off as hip hop, everybody
Right.
knew you as, yo, dog. Sino, dog, Sino, because everybody knew it was Sino and Mighty, Sino and Mighty, Sino and Mighty.
Jogging.
So with that being
Gang,
said,
gang.
from leaving the hip hop things, what got you into locking, the funk style?
It's so weird because I probably connected with locking music before I even knew what hip hop style was. How it happened was when I grew up, from birth till now.
I blame your parents.
Exactly. Okay, there's the answer. Thanks. Next question. We're done. So there was music that would always play, cleaning, like family gatherings,
Sunday chores,
trips.
baby.
So I knew the music back to front. Me and my brothers, like we know them from like toddler days. I knew almost all of Motown's music.
wow.
You couldn't tell me soul and funk music. I
Yeah.
knew all the artists. I knew all the songs by default.
Okay.
But when I found out, so I did the hip hop thing, and then I found out in my dance journey that, oh my gosh, there's a dance style for the music that I'm used to. So all this new stuff, the hip hop stuff I was introduced to when I moved to Joburg.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from East London.
Oh, you're from East London?
Yeah, small town girl things. Yeah. I'm
Didn't
from
even
East
think about
London.
that.
No, I'm not from Joburg.
Okay. See,
So the
another
hip-hop
one, like I
thing-
always say, people who come from outside Gauteng always make it big in Gauteng because you come for a purpose. It's like,
Right.
you just know.
There's a vision, there's a
it's-
goal.
It's like these Gautengians, if I can put it that way. The fact that you can see an AKA or someone
It
here.
would never happen at home.
You'll think-
That's not a thing.
Oh, well, I don't need to really
There's
do
not even
anything 'cause he's
entertainment
here.
at home,
Yeah,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
come from afar, hey man, you know.
Right?
Hey, man,
You gotta do
you
what
to
you
work.
gotta do.
But anyway.
True. So hip hop I got introduced to only when I moved. I was like, oh, okay, what's this thing? Okay. But funk music, soul music, I always knew. From small town days till moving here. But when I found out in Joburg that there's an actual dance style for that particular music, I was like, oh my God, that has to be an advantage.
wow.
I know even though I didn't know the dance style,
Yeah.
I didn't yet know, like, when they do this, it's called Uncle Sam, this is a
okay,
Leo walk, this
okay,
is a this,
okay.
this is a that. The music for me was so, I could name it, I could sing along to every single song without
Yeah.
knowing the style. I was like, it would be ludicrous for me to not try this. And
And
it
that-
just was a match made
just
in,
happened.
yeah, because I already feel the music, so the style was. inevitable.
With that being said, how did you feel? Because I know for a fact that Ellie, a very good dancer, Krumper.
Yes.
That remember that guy
And
would
everything,
slap the floor. That guy would
After flipping off the wall, after
he would slap he would tell everybody
Yeah.
to keep quiet in the stadium
Yep.
and slap and you would hear
presence.
Chwah! I'm like, "Grrr, okay, Ellie." But it was so weird for me to see him come from that
Right.
also into locking.
Right.
And he became a very good locker. by the
Right.
way. So how did it feel being in a battle and you winning over?
I can tell you this, in the beginning of the battle, I was pooping my pants. That's the honest truth. In the beginning of the battle, I remember I had, in one of my battles, I don't know if it was the first or the second one, I had Rafiq there. And I told Rafiq, I'm not going on.
Wow.
My name was down. Like after the break, it was like a recess kind of a thing, and everyone's outside practicing. I was like, I'm not going on, that's ridiculous. How can you put me against Ellie when I just joined this thing because I like the music, and I was like, oh, my mom used to listen to this, so I should dance to this. But you can't put me against Ellie, who's been. So I decided that like, nope, lies.
And then you went in and then
Yeah, but then he was just like, what do you have to lose? Just give it a go. Because Ellie was one of my biggest inspirations, and also then so humble. Also, everybody loves Ellie. Ellie is an amazing dancer. So I was just like, who
one of the
do
best.
you
One of
think
the one of
that
the best. But
you understand? And also, not many people did locking. That was also another thing. So I could count on one hand the people I could go to for locking. At some point, I went to you. At some point, I went to Ellie. After that, I'm like, crickets. So I was winging it. I was going with what I saw, what I heard, what I felt with the music, but I didn't know. I didn't have a studio to teach me. This is what you do. This is called this. So I'm like, oh my gosh! Now I have to battle Ellie, who's like.
But you had a good gimmick though. I remember that battle. You did that split jump that people know you for.
Right.
And you had that thing. You go backwards and then your
The
feet
back
do the. I was like, I've never seen that before, bro. That's
The funniest thing is those two things. I didn't practice those things. I got desperate in the battle, and I was like, "Girl, you better do something.
Ah, but that's what's up there.
You better do something."
You found that gravitas in you, like,
better,
hey,
'cause
what's come out?
He's not going light. You better
Yeah.
do something.
And
And I don't want to be good for a girl, so I was just like,
Yeah.
do something.
And you won the battle. All right. So
Yeah.
how did you feel? Like, did you feel like, did you deserve? Did you feel like, nah, this is just, this is gonna be happening? Or
I feel like I deserved it on the basis that there was nothing that was in me that I didn't leave on that floor.
Oh, I see.
There was absolutely. It was one of those battles where even before you get the results, I'm good with what I did. Like I'm like,
nice.
yo, I emptied myself out on this.
You left blood on the
And I
dance
think
floor.
also right, and I think also everyone expected.
Yeah.
That's cute,
Yeah.
little girl, but Ellie's gonna win.
And then next thing you know, bam.
Yeah, so I definitely appreciate every win. I appreciate it whether I win or not, but I don't want to sound arrogant, but yeah,
Yeah.
I did a lot.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't have, like dancers today will never understand what they have. I didn't have a studio to go to for somebody to go, this is locking, this is a wrist roll, this is a this is a that. And nobody, just work it out. Figure it out. I remember when I was going to World Champs, I came to you, I was like, I'm going to World Champs and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what any move is called. I don't have a combo, I don't have a set. I don't know, help.
When Kanesik was still locking at the time.
You were the only people I knew who were
Yeah.
like doing the actual
Yeah,
style.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
no studio doing it.
Nope.
There was no crews doing it. So I was like, SA is one thing. I can't go there.
Yeah,
and
and
like,
they do, yeah. How did you do though? Where did you place?
I was in the finals.
Kanesik seemed you believe, you know what I'm saying?
I was
Yeah, so I
like,
taught you the right things.
no, you did. You did. You
Okay,
did.
cool. Okay, let's keep this going. So you went from clinch, hip hop connection, cadence. Yeah, the silver stuff.
Stop it. Stop it.
Cadence and ace.
Right.
Would you ever be in a girl group again? Because I mean, like you just shot a video with Rudy.
With Rudy, yeah.
I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And that video was powerful.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, would you ever consider being in a crew again?
I will always have a soft spot for a crew as I know it. No shade, but I don't consider a lot of what is called a crew today a crew. So for me, a crew back in what I know it to be, I will always have a soft spot for that. Never say never, but I don't see it now just because just as you grow as a human being, there's different things that you want to achieve. Like I still find people like hitting me up going, "This battle." Where were you when I was battling for like 10 years? Are you kidding? I'm not sitting at the door of dance waiting for every newbie to battle them. Like, if we battle, we'll battle. But otherwise, I've just got things that I'm a musician. I'm an art. I trained in that. I want to focus on that.
Is any projects coming up pretty soon that you should look out for?
Soon, but you'll hear from me.
Cool. That's
yes,
what's up, man.
definitely. Soon, but you'll hear from me.
With that being said, I don't know, well, if you want to add anything, or maybe you want to give a message to aspiring artists that are, they want to become a singer or want to become, the ones who want to be on TV.
I don't have any real.
What would you say to somebody, let's say for instance, some people, like you one of them, you came from outside Gauteng, because obviously everybody knows that Gauteng is New York and Cape Town is LA. But anyway.
Oh my gosh, yes! That's exactly.
So with that being said, someone coming up from a small town like you've done, what would you give them as an advice?
You've got to know yourself before you're trying to impress anybody else. Because when I moved from a small town, I realized that a lot of everything that happens in Joburg, people, if you don't know you, people will tell you who you are.
Truth.
People will tell you, you are this, you belong there, you're in that box, you do that, go and do that, don't do that, do that. But if you know from jump, I'm here to do A, B, C, and D, and that's what I'm gonna do, then nothing deters you, nothing throws you off. Some things hurt, but they don't throw you off of, I find a lot of dancers getting thrown off of, oh, I used to dance. Oh, now I can't sustain that. It's because you didn't take it for everything that it is. You ran with the glory of it all, but didn't think, okay, there's gonna be some things with this field that I've chosen that are not gonna be pretty. Am I willing to go through it? So know who you are before you allow anybody else to tell you who you are. But at the same time, take advice, listen, adapt. That's even I need to remember that one, adapt or die. That's really, the industry is ever changing, entertainment as a whole.
Every day.
See where you fit in every time, instead of getting frustrated that, oh, back in my day it wasn't like this. Because I could easily do that. I could be like, oh, they do this now and it wasn't like that back then. The truth is you just have to see where you fit in, see what you can offer the space. Don't chase money, don't chase fame, don't chase TV time.
Say that again.
Do not chase money, fame, or TV time. They don't follow people, they're a byproduct of offering value some way. If you bring value, all those things follow.
Boom. You got that?
You don't, you're gonna find yourself in a pickle, so do you.
I don't know, I couldn't have said it better, truth be told, because I mean, geez, I even learned from this now, if anything. I'm like, yeah, man, you know what, actually, Pacou dog, go back to where you were, bro, because
the center.
You can literally get lost in this industry hard.
That's literally what it is.
Hard. But I like that. Know what you're here to do, know what you came here for, do it, and then as soon as you're done, see what's the next step. Don't just get you, because yes, they will tell you when you're there. What? How'd you look? Yeah, go there.
Yay. And it's gotta be for more than just you. Like, I think you can't sustain a career in entertainment if it's just for you. Entertainment is made to connect to people, to share with people, to empower people, to entertain people, whatever your thing is. If it's just for you and your fame and your glory, you're gonna fizzle away real quick.
Crash and die. Crash, boom, bang. Anyway, yo, thank you very much for coming through. I know for a fact that, this is like COVID times and all that stuff, and people are trying to make money now, seeing that we only never won. So with that being said, thank you for actually giving us your time, because I know for a fact that time is something you can never waste. So I believe this is not wasted.
And never get back, not at all.
I learned a lot. So if anything, where can people get hold of you?
Instagram, I'm at just_Sino_. And my email is sinodunya@gmail.com.
That's what it is, man. They gotta come and get you. You're the one who does the things that needs to be done, man. You know what I'm talking about? Part 2 ranking and Sierra, man. Remember that. Choreographer. Anyway, it is what it is and it'll be what it'll be, man. I'm Pacou Mutombo doing and that's Confi'Dance on that. Bring you people you need to know when you need to know. I'm out of her, dog. Girl, thank you very much for coming through. You know what I'm talking about?